We frequently believe we need far more in our homes than we actually do, which is a curious thing. We hardly touch most of stuff. Even if closets are filled, shelves are crammed, and counters are jammed. I now view my space differently because of this straightforward fact. We don't need nearly as much as we believe. It's liberating after you sit with that for a while. I want to talk about that today. You can try small experiments at home. Just little experiments to discover how life feels with less clutter. Nothing permanent or significant. It's not about living like a monk or giving up everything. Curiosity is more at play here, questioning what would happen if I simply tried living with less for a bit. The beauty of it is this: nothing lasts forever. Anything you're not using can be put away and returned immediately if you need it. These aren't guidelines. They're merely tests. Consider it similar to moving furniture. You try a new layout, see whether you like it, and then change it back if not. Nothing was harmed. Let me now take you through the easy process of setting up one of these small trials. Choose a topic that interests you first. The kitchen, your closet, or even your screen time could be the cause. Next, decide how much less testing you wish to do. For example, removing everything but one countertop appliance or half of your closet. It is ideal to select a time frame of approximately 1 month. It's not frightening, but it's long enough to see a noticeable difference. 2 or 3 months is much preferable if you want to delve further. Tuck the extras out of sight after that. Don't sell or donate just yet. Simply store them in a box in the basement or garage. After that, you live with the scaled-down version for the duration you choose. And you pause and pay close attention after the experiment is finished. Was life easier? Have you missed the items you put away at all? You'll be able to tell what's valuable and what's just taking up room that way. Let's face it, our presumptions account for half of the clutter problem. We believe that I could require this in the future. But what if I run out? However, you discover what is true and what is merely habit when you truly attempt to live without. And believe me, you'll know when you didn't need as much as you initially believed. You feel as though a burden has been lifted. Here's a brief illustration. Let's discuss clothing. Have you ever said to yourself, "I have nothing to wear," while standing in front of a packed wardrobe? Everybody has been there. Ironically, the most of us wear the same tiny rotation nevertheless. Living with just 33 pieces of clothing is therefore a common experiment. 33 for 3 months does sound crazy, doesn't it? But that's plenty when you think about it. You blend. Imagine how much easier it is to get dressed all of a sudden. No regret about items you never wore. No never-ending choices. Additionally, you can create your own number if 33 seems excessive. Consider having your clothing for a month. Keep the remainder in storage or another closet and see how it feels. Who knows? You may discover that nothing you put away is missed. Let me now take a moment to ask you a question. Which area of your house do you already feel is crowded? A place where opening the door makes you sigh. Give it some thought, since it might be the ideal place to begin, both out of curiosity and to support the development of this small community. From where are you watching? I adore how broad these discussions are. Please remember to hit like and subscribe if you find this type of discussion useful. More folks who share our passion of a more tranquil, comfortable environment can then join in. Therefore, keep in mind that everything, including your phone time, kitchen appliances, and clothing, is temporary. It's only a test. After you live lighter for a month, you can choose whether you want to stay that way. And you're always in charge, which is the secret. What stays, what goes, and how long to try it are all up to you. Okay, so let's start with the areas surrounding your house, as that's where these small experiments can have a nearly magical effect. Until we remove visual clutter for a while, we may not even be aware of how much it burdens us. Consider decorations. The majority of us adore a lovely vase here, a few trinkets there, and perhaps a picture frame or 3. However, when everything is combined, tables and shelves may begin to feel overcrowded. Removing around half of your decor for 2 months is one experiment. Simply carefully box things up, tuck it away, and let the space to breathe. It's incredible how your eyes can fall asleep so quickly. The humorous portion comes next. You'll likely appreciate those decorations more when you bring them back later, because they'll feel new again. While we're on the subject, have you ever noticed that a room is filled merely for the sake of filling a corner? For a month, try clearing out one area entirely. Nothing but empty space. No basket, no plant, no chair. Even if it's a minor adjustment, the space will feel instantly larger and more serene. And then there's furniture. We often cram additional sideboards, tables, and seats because we might need them. However, what if, even for a few weeks, you only removed 1 or 2 pieces? I adore the additional open floor. Walking across a room without zigzagging around furniture may be quite liberating. Additionally, if you decide you miss the parts, you can always put them back. Since clutter tends to accumulate in the kitchen, let's move there now. Clearing your countertops for a month is one of the easiest experiments. Everything goes in a drawer or closet, including mail piles, cutlery, and appliances. It may seem odd at first, but you soon realize how peaceful the kitchen is. Because your eyes aren't constantly moving from the toaster to the blender to the pile of papers, cooking becomes less stressful. When nothing is in the way, even cleaning counters is simpler. Containers are the subject of yet another kitchen experiment. If you ever open a Tupperware drawer and it explodes every time, raise your hand. Everybody has been there. Give it a try. For 3 months, just keep 8 food storage containers. The remaining items should be placed in a box. That's all. Just 8. You'll realize that you're actually more considerate of leftovers and that you're not dealing with mismatched lids. And your box is right there if you ever need more. Another cunning clutter trap is this one. Gadgets and utensils, garlic presses, melon ballers, extra spatulas, they all pile up. For a while, keep everything out of sight by placing all the extras in a bin. Only the necessities should be kept in your drawers. It tells you a lot if, after a few months, you discover that you haven't gone looking for anything in the bin. Let me ask you a question. Which area of your house would you most like to feel more open if you were to choose right now? Your kitchen, your living room, or even your bedroom? Simply consider it for yourself. I would begin these experiments there. As we discuss keeping things simple, allow me to offer you a small piece of advice. Don't just throw the excess in any bag when you're packing them away. Use a bin box with a label. Jot down the contents and perhaps include the date the experiment began. In this manner, it feels deliberate, rather than like a disorganized stash. And you won't be second-guessing later. It's funny how these minor setbacks can change your mood so fast. An entire house might feel lighter with just one open area or a clear counter. Best of all, you haven't thrown anything out yet. All you're doing is allowing yourself some space. Let's move on to everyday routines and personal items now, as this is where the experiments become really enlightening. Makeup, clothes, dishes, and even screen time. You might be surprised to learn how much it can be simplified. We have already discussed the wardrobe, but let's go a bit further. If you are familiar with Project 303, it is the 3-month period in which you are required to wear only 33 articles of clothing. Tops, bottoms, shoes, and even coats fall within this category. When you do it, you'll see how much brain space it frees up, even though it seems impossible at first. You have your favorites ready to go rather than looking at a closet full of possibilities. No shame about unused things. No morning decision weariness. Here's a more condensed version of that concept. The experiment with the single mug. Choose your most cherished tea or coffee mug and limit your use to it for a month. There are 2 things you'll notice. First of all, using your favorite mug consistently feels better. Second, you won't have to deal with a mountain of used cups lying around the house. Even though it's a really easy test, it helps with mornings. The same is true with dishes. For a while, try restricting each person to a single place setting. One plate, one bowl, one cup, one set of utensils. It makes you keep up with the laundry at first, but that's the goal. It eliminates the never-ending wash basin accumulation. Additionally, since you're not reaching for a new dish every time you feel like snacking, meals feel a little more deliberate. Not to be overlooked is cosmetics. Give yourself a month to use only the necessities if your bathroom drawers are bursting at the seams. Perhaps one lipstick, mascara, and foundation. Or simply scale back to what you typically aim for if you already keep things simple. The intriguing thing is that you'll be able to tell which goods you genuinely like and which ones were just unnecessary clutter. Let's now take a brief break from tangible objects and discuss screens. Although it may feel difficult, it's worthwhile to attempt. 30 days devoid of social media, TV, or any other screen habit that you most frequently use. You need to give everything up. Simply decide what you want to take a break from. You won't believe how soon you quit missing it, and how much more peaceful evenings feel when there isn't any noise all the time. A no-buy month is another excellent challenge. Buy solely groceries and toiletries for 30 days. Nothing more. No new clothes, no trinkets, no temptations to buy because it's on sale. It has nothing to do with punishment. It is merely a button for pausing. Additionally, it might be quite pleasant to not have to worry about purchasing. Email can also infiltrate as clutter. Try unsubscribing from every newsletter for a month if you're sick of having them all in your inbox. It seems odd at first, but all of a sudden, you can only see the ones that are truly important. Additionally, you may always resubscribe if you later miss a newsletter. One of my favorites is this one. Washing dishes by hand rather than in a dishwasher. Give it a try for a month. It slows you down just enough to indicate when a meal is over. Additionally, the kitchen feels finished after you're done. Don't wait for the dishwasher cycle to be completed. It functions similarly to a daily reset. Additionally, try a basic meal plan if you're looking for something very doable. Eat the same breakfast and lunch every day for a month. Avoid overanalyzing it. Decide on something you like, then stick with it. Predictability eliminates a great deal of decision-making. You'll also discover that grocery shopping becomes lots simpler. Even though dinner is changeable, having those 2 meals prepared automatically has a significant impact. So, if you could only do one of these experiments this week, which would you find the easiest to complete? Dishes, screens, clothes, or something else entirely? Sometimes the greatest insights come from starting small. Remember to subscribe if you're liking these suggestions so you don't miss the upcoming recommendations. I frequently share things like this, and doing them together always makes them more enjoyable. These routines and trials may seem insignificant, but they gradually mount up. You'll have fewer decisions to make throughout the day, less clutter on your shelves, and a more tranquil routine. Everything is interconnected, and you may not want to return after you experience how easy things may be. We've discussed kitchens, clothing, and habits, but there's one more area where even minor tweaks may significantly alter the atmosphere of your house and your way of life. These are the more comprehensive exams that impact your sleep, your daily schedule, and even your daily activities. Establishing a weekly relaxation day is one of the most straightforward yet effective strategies. A day without any job calls, housekeeping, or to-do list, just a break. Although it may seem ineffective at first, allowing oneself to genuinely pause for a single day can completely transform your entire week. Take a walk, read a book, or take a nap if you'd like. You'll feel rejuvenated, but the laundry and errands will still be there tomorrow. Toy rotation is a fantastic little tip if you have children or grandchildren. Put half of the toys in storage for a few weeks. It feels like they are fresh new again when you bring them out. More inventiveness in play and less mess on the floor result from having fewer toys out at once. In fact, when kids aren't overloaded with options, they use their creativity more. Making your bedroom feel like a basic hotel room is an additional experiment. Reduce it to the essentials: bed, nightstands, and possibly a few of lamps. For a month, put away superfluous furniture, piles of clothing, and extra decor. Savor the serenity of a pared-down area. When your bedroom no longer reminds you of clutter or duties, it can completely change the way you sleep. It's merely a place to rest comfortably. And this one may seem a bit audacious. If you are able, try not to use your car for a week. Instead, take the bus, walk, or ride your bike. Even a few days of it can completely change your outlook, though it's not always feasible for everyone. In addition to getting fresh air and possibly saving some money on petrol, you'll see your neighborhood differently. It's important to keep in mind that these tests are just temporary. You're not committing to anything. You're merely experimenting to find out what makes life more pleasurable, easier, and peaceful. Bring back the traditional methods if something seems too constrictive. Continue a bit longer if something feels fantastic. You are in command at all times. This is my small challenge to you. This week, choose one of these experiments to begin. Avoid overanalyzing it. Don't make long-term plans. Simply choose one and give it a shot. Write down your feelings at the conclusion of the month. Have you forgotten what you put away? Was life easier? The true revelation comes from that small moment of reflection. And if you've been thinking, yes, I need this kind of calm at home while you nod along today, to let me know you agree with me, please like this video. Additionally, subscribe if you haven't already. It fosters the development of this community. Additionally, doing these activities jointly is always more pleasant. It's not about restriction when you live with less. It has to do with freedom. You'll have more room to enjoy the things that truly matter, less clutter to trip over, and fewer decisions to exhaust you. Therefore, even the simplest experiment, a spotless counter, a favorite mug, or a peaceful Sunday, can serve as a reminder of what home should feel like. Try it out and see what happens when you let your house to breathe.